Good morning, children. Today we are going to start a new chapter. What's the name of the chapter? Any idea? Electricity. Okay. This is the last chapter in physics. We are going to study about electricity. Okay. Two types of electricity are there. Do you know? Any idea about what are the two types? Don't see the board. Just tell. Static electricity and current electricity. Okay. Two types of electricity are there. Static electricity and current electricity. Static already we have seen by experience, not studied actually, but with experience. In your lower classes, with a comb, if you rub it on your hair and if you bring it near small bits of paper, the charge will be there, no? It will be attracted. Then they used to tell static charge. What is that static charge? We have, but experimentally we have seen what it is. Now, two types of electricity, static electricity and current electricity. Okay. The main differences, you will study it in later in detail. We are going to study only about current, but in one line if you want to tell, electric charges are there but they are at rest. Okay. Electric charges at rest are called static electricity, and if they are in motion they are called as current electricity. Now it is clear, I think. Electric charges at rest are called static electricity, and electric charges when they are in motion, they are called movement is called as current electricity. Okay, now two things we have studied. What is electric charge? Here we have studied electric charge at rest and there electric charge in motion. What is electric charge? What is electric charge? The source of electricity is charge. We know. How are we getting electricity? Can we go and get it from the shop like rice and all? No. What is behind that? It is because of electric charge. Okay. So the source of electricity is charge. The electric charge of the particle, if you take a particle, the electric charge of a particle is the property due to which it produces electric or magnetic effect. It depends upon the charge, whether it is going to act like an electric, this one, or magnetic. Okay. So the electric charge of the particle is the property due to which it produces which effect? Electric effect as well as magnetic effect. So that is electric charge. What are the properties of electric charges? Some we have already studied, we will see, and the others I will tell. Like charges repel and unlike charges attract, that we know. 2 to 4 points if you keep in mind, it will be easy for you in case if they ask for, because this will come under descriptive type. So we should write the points also. Like charges repel, unlike charges attract, we know. Charge can neither be created nor be destroyed. No. Can either be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred. That is very important. Okay. Charge can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred from one body to the other. So it is very important that it can be transferred from one body to the other body. Third point, a heavily charged particle attracts. Okay. If it is heavily charged, it will start attracting uncharged particles, small particles. Okay. If a heavily charged particle, what will it do? It will attract the uncharged small particles. Now charge of a proton and electron. The value is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. What is that? 1.6. This is very important. Charge of a proton and electron both. 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. For proton it is positive, that is plus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, and for electron it is minus, the same, but it is positive plus, for negative it is minus. 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. If you are not putting minus, then it will be a very big mistake. So minus 19 coulomb. SI unit of electric charge is C, capital C. Why? It is because to honor a person. Who is that person? Charles Augustin de Coulomb in the year 1785. After this I will be explaining about Coulomb's law also. He gave us a law. Okay, because of that only the SI unit of electric charge is C. What is Coulomb? A body is said to have 1 coulomb of charge if it contains how many electrons? 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. For example, this is 1 coulomb if I am telling. What is the definition? A body is said to have 1 coulomb of charge if it contains 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. Okay, this is also important, this value. 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. 1 millicoulomb is equal to 10 to the power minus 3 coulomb, and 1 micro, this will come in future also in current and volt, this one potential difference and all when we are studying. This is millicoulomb, this is micro. See, micro you know, I think you'll put like this. 1 millicoulomb is equal to 10 to the power minus 3 coulomb, and 1 microcoulomb is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 of minus 6, double of that. Okay, now there are two types of thing, no? Positive as well as negative. We know that. We'll see the difference between two types of charges. Positive charge and negative charge. Here, protons possess a positive charge. We know. Protons, they have a positive charge. What is the value? 1.6 plus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. But that side electrons, electrons possess a negative charge minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Positive charge is due to deficiency of electrons. You have studied about atoms. No, if they are 16 electrons and 16 protons, then it will it have any charge? No. But if it is 17 electrons, then 1 electron is more. If it is 17 protons and 16 electrons, then 1 proton is more. No. Okay, now positive charge is due to deficiency of electrons. If the electron number is less, then it will become positive. If the electron number is more, then it will become negative. Second point. Third point, mass of a body, weight of a body decreases here. Here mass of the body increases. Okay. Here mass of the body decreases, there mass of the body increases. Glass rod becomes positive on rubbing with silk. This experiment in your lower classes you have seen, I think. If you take a glass rod and if you rub on silk, what happens? The positive thing, no? Positive means what should have? What should become? This one should become deficiency of electrons. No? When it is rubbed with, when you are taking a glass rod and when you are taking a silk piece and you are rubbing, what happens here? Positive, negative, both will be there. What happens? This positive will go to glass, this one, silk. So this will become positive because deficiency of electrons. Electrons will be moving, no? Electrons will move towards silk. So this will become positive. Same way here, ebonite rod and fur, if you are taking and doing the same thing, it is an example for negative. It is because these 2 points you should keep in mind. It is due to deficiency of electrons, and here it is due to excess of electrons. Okay. When the electrons are moving, if it is deficient, then it is positive. If it is extra, it is negative. These 2 points are very important. Q is the net charge due to accumulation or removal of electrons. Net charge, okay, if you are counting both. Q is the net charge due to accumulation of or removal of electrons. For example, the formula is Q is equal to number of electrons. Q is equal to Ne. What is Q? Q is equal to number of electrons. What is Q? Q is equal to charge, and N is equal to the one integer, and E is electron. So these are the basic introduction things what you are going to study before studying current. Okay, 2 types of electricity, then what is electric charge, properties of electric charge. Then you have also studied about what is proton, electron. Then we have studied about positive and negative types. Under that 3 points, who is the person? Charles Augustine de Coulomb found Coulomb's law. Shall we see what is there in Coulomb's law?